Hey, what's up, my wolf pack? This is Wolf Master, and today I'm coming at you with another Card Fight Vanguard deck profile. Today I'm going to be showing you my Gear Chronicle deck, which I have named Clockwork Catastrophe. So, yeah, like this deck here, like, it is awesome. It's become my second favorite clan of all time. I didn't think it would actually become my second favorite because when it first came out, I didn't really care for it, but then I started playing it, and yeah, like, I love this deck. I don't know why. It's just awesome. Alright, so let's get started. Like, the build I focus on, like, focuses on, like, pure power type stuff to send cards back to the deck to power up units. And I know that sounds like every Gear Chronicle deck, but you'll see. Okay, so first off, my starter, which is one not a lot of people play actually, is the Brass-Winged Gearhawk. His skill is Generation Break 1, and when your opponent's rearguard is put back into the deck due to one of your card effects, then he gets plus 5,000 power for the turn. So, like, that's for, like, every card you send back. So this card can be a beast. Okay, next up 4 Steam Battler Masada, which is a critical trigger. I should show that one first. I have one Steam Battler Madosig because, like, I'm currently trying to get a 4th of this one card that is a critical trigger, so, like, he's holding the place until now. And he's holding the place of one more of the Heart Thump Worker. Yeah, this one's SP. Like, thanks a lot, my friend Sam, for trading me this card. Yeah, if you don't know what he does, basically his ability is that you can put this card into the soul, and when your Vanguard attacks, if it's grade 3 or higher and it has Chronojet in its name, you can draw a card and choose one of your Vanguards, and it gets 5,000 power until the end of turn. And since I focus a lot on Chronojet Dragon, like, this card's really good, and that's why I'm trying to get my 4th. But it'll do until then. Then, next up for the trigger lineup is 4 Lucky Pot Draco Kids, which is a draw trigger. And with his ability, you can send him from the rear guard into the soul and give a Gear Chronicle unit plus 3,000 power until the end of turn. So, very good. And finally, 4 Steam Maiden Uluru, which is the heal trigger of the deck. Not much to say about that. Like, everyone knows how important the heal trigger is. Okay, next up for my grade 1s, 4 Steam Breath Dragon. If you don't know what he does, when he's called into the rear guard, you can choose a grade 3 from your hand and reveal it. And then you can search your deck for a grade 3 with Chronojet in its name. So you can immediately search for your Chronojet Dragon. And after that, you have to choose a card from your hand and discard it. Then you shuffle your deck. And plus, when he's in the hand, he gets grade plus 2. So, yeah, he can count as a grade 3 when you stride. Alright, next up for my grade 1s are 4 Submit Crest Gear Wolf. Of course, this is the wolf pack. We gotta have a wolf in here. But yeah, this card is really awesome. Its ability is Generation Break 1, and it's in the rear guard. Never mind. Yeah, it's like when your opponent's rear guard is put back into the deck by an effect of one of your other cards, then this card gets plus 3,000 power until the end of turn. And that's for each one you send back. It's like Gearhawk. So that's really, really good. Next up is for Steam Maiden Arlem, which is the perfect guard of the deck that can only defend your Vanguard. Like, yeah, basically you put it into the Guardian Circle, you discard a card, the attack is blocked, and if you have another copy of her in the drop zone, then you can unflip one card in your damage zone. Then, finally, for my Grade 1 lineup is 2 Mist Geyser Dragon. This card's ability is basically a Grade 1 Gearhawk, where if your opponent's rearguard is sent back into the deck by one of your effects, then he gets plus 5,000 power until end of turn. I'm trying to, like, make sure the camera's, like, I don't know if you can actually see the text. I'm trying to zoom in, like, as good as I can. Well, it's not doing anything. But, yeah, it's Generation Break 1 to use. Okay, next up is my Grade 2s, which is 4 Steam Fighter Amber. His ability is Generation Break 1, and when this unit attacks a Vanguard and this unit's boosted, you can counterblast 1, and then you can choose one of your opponent's Grade 2 or less rear guards and send it to the bottom of your opponent's deck. So that helps out with, you know, focusing on what this deck is about, just powering up your rear guards with sending back, like, which a lot of people call rewinding. It's just like boost, counterblast, rewind. Next up is 4 Twin Mazer Dragon. This card's ability is Generation Break 1, and when it attacks an opponent's Vanguard, it gets plus 3,000 power until the end of the battle. So yeah, like, I'm seriously, like, contemplating about, like replacing, like, 3 of them with Glimmer Breath Dragon, and then take out the other one for the other Grade 2 that I have in here, which you'll see in just a second. And that is 3 Steam Knight Panzer Ill, which is a Legion mate of a card I'm going to get into in the deck in just a sec. And his ability is that when he's in the rear guard and he attacks an opponent's Vanguard, you can Soul Blast 2, and until the end of that battle, your opponent cannot use Grade 0s from their hand to guard. Well, his attack, anyway. Like, he's basically Silent Tom with a cost, which a lot of people think is fair, to be honest. Yeah, like, yeah, I definitely put in a 4th if I had it. Like, I don't have 4 right now. I only have 3 in, like, my entire collection. And now getting into my Grade 3s. 4 Ruined Disposal Dragon, which is the Legion of Steam Knight Panzer Ill. And, yeah, his ability is that when this unit Legion, you can choose one of your opponent's Grade 2 or less rear guards and put it to the bottom of their deck. So this card's really good, and his other ability is that when it attacks an opponent's Vanguard, it gets 2,000 power until the end of that battle, but he has to be in the Vanguard circle to get that power boost. So yeah, this card helps for, like, getting cards back into my opponent's deck. This helps me get triggers for my drop zone back into my deck. That's why I run it. And finally, for my Grade 3s, you probably guessed it by now, This is basically my avatar of the deck, which is 4 Chronojet Dragons. His first ability is Generation Break 2, and when it attacks an opponent's Vanguard, it gets plus 5,000 power, and your opponent can't call grade 1s or higher from their hand to guard. So, yeah, that ability is good, and his other ability is that when you stride on top of him, you can counterblast 1 and then choose one of your opponent's rear guards and send it to the bottom of their deck. Alright, and last but not least is my Stride deck, which is the G deck. First up is 2 Snow Element Blizzara. He's a Cray Elemental, so he can go into any deck. His ability is that when he attacks an opponent's Vanguard, you can counterblast 1 and choose one of your G units in the deck that's face down. Flip it face up, and then he gets plus 5,000 power for each face-up G unit you have in the G zone until the end of that battle. So this card is really good. And then next up is 1 Miracle Element Atmos. His ability is that when he attacks an opponent's Vanguard, you counterblast 1, and then he gets 10,000 power until the end of that battle. So, yeah. And then I have 2 Interdimensional Dragon, Fate Rider Dragon. His ability is that you can choose one of your rear guards and put it to the bottom of your deck, and then search your deck for a card that's 1 grade higher than that card, and call it to the rear guard, shuffle your deck, and then you can choose 1 unit for each face-up card in your G zone, and they get 3,000 power until the end of turn. So that's really, really awesome. And I don't know why I keep showing, this one here is SP. It's awesome. Again, thanks to my friend Sam. And finally, in my G deck is 3 Interdimensional Dragon, Chronos Command Dragon. His ability is that when his attack hits an opponent's Vanguard, you counterblast 2, Soul Blast 1, and get rid of a card in your hand. Then all your opponent's rear guards go to the bottom of their deck, which is pretty good, but I'm not so crazy about this card because he rarely ever hits my opponent's Vanguard. I do plan to change this deck up. I plan to change the G deck a bit. When I can afford them, I do plan to get Clockwork Dragons in here. I would take out, these 4 to put in Clockwork Dragons, and I would take, 2 of these guys out. Take these out for that new Stride that's coming out, which is called, Upheaval Beast. No, Interdimensional Beast, Upheaval Pegasus. And he, sends, rear guards back into the deck when you stride on top of, Chronojet Dragon, which is just pretty good and awesome for this deck. So, yeah, that is my current Gear Chronicle deck. Clockwork Catastrophe. Yeah, this deck is really awesome. It gets a lot of power through. I'm sorry I'm moving the camera so much. My arm is really itchy. So yeah, that's my deck profile. Let me know what you guys think about it. Oh, and be sure to check out my friend Cortè Brown's channel. He does a lot of Vanguard stuff like me, and he's a great guy. Thanks for supporting the channel, all that stuff. So, yeah, that's my deck. I gotta get out because this video is getting too long. Keep howling, my wolf pack. Good day, good night, good morning, wherever you are. So, keep howling. Ow!